Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you another Baltany. This is the Baltany weekend, so this is the second watch. This is going to be, you'll have seen the one yesterday, great watch. Baltany have become one of my favorite brands. I would say now it's quite possibly my favorite, to be honest. I think they make some outstanding watches. Um, this one really took me by surprise. They reached out to me. I've got a pretty good relationship with them. They asked me which color I wanted. I went for the gold dial. I then saw the burgundy dial, and I was like, "Did I drop the ball? I don't know." But yeah, this one, honestly, when it came and I started wearing it, I started spending time with it. I was like, "This is the watch that I think so many people are going to appreciate." In terms of, I put it on my community post. Everyone thought it was 40 mil. It's not. It's smaller than that. You're going to find out the spec soon. But this one ticks an awful lot of boxes. It's got the best Cyclops I've seen on a watch, hands down. I'm not a big fan of Cyclopses, to be honest, and that still extends here. But really done well. When like I said, I've been wearing this now for about 2 or 3 weeks. I just took it off, cleaned it, ready for the review. But guys, honestly, if you wanted a watch that looks like this and you've been waiting, I think wait no longer. I think Baltany have you covered. Absolutely exceptional, but doesn't live up to all that. We're gonna get there together. So it's about that time. Get yourself a brew, sit back, relax. As I said, we'll get there together because it's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. All right, guys. So this is the watch. Usual sort of packaging we've become accustomed to now. Out of box. Inside, you've got the leather sort of watch roll sort of thing. I've taken out 5 links for it to fit my wrist. Screw pins. I'll let you just take a little look at these links. Yeah, really easy to size, to be honest. Really nicely finished, but yet again we've become sort of accustomed to that sort of stuff, I believe, from Baltany now. I think they're doing some excellent stuff. uh, Obviously they're doing homage watches. I do like to think that in the future they will start doing a lot more sort of original stuff. Screwdriver stuff, that's what I used to size it, which was nice and easy. Let me get the warranty card out. I can do so. There we go, all signed. Again, not surprising. I've had all my stuff signed now from Baltany, so yeah, hardly surprising. But yeah, I wanted to show you what you're dealing with. But this is the sort of watch roll sort of thing they give you. Nice because you can keep using it embossed on there. I don't believe it's leather, sort of like a leatherette sort of material. But yeah, I can't smell any leather on it. But if it is leather, then fantastic. But I'll put that to the side, and then we can focus on the watch. So I had cleaned it. I've taken the crown out in preparation, and we just turn it a little bit to put a bit more juice in there. But this is the S4084, a little bit of a smaller model number. Normally it says it would have been the S204084. But yeah, a couple of other color variations to choose from. I've just gone for the two-tone. The burgundy does look unbelievable. Gary over at I Like Watches is featuring that. So I do head over and check out his video. Also, I'll also leave a link to his video. Not that you'll need it. I'm sure you've seen this video already. But there we are. Inside this watch, it's running a Seiko NH35 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. Rugged, reliable. What can you say about this movement? I think this is probably the most used automatic movement you're going to find in a watch. NH35, also known as a 4R35 with an actual Seiko watch. 21,600 beats per hour, 24 joules. Yeah, 41 hour power reserve. This thing just runs and runs. I don't know if Baltany do regulate their movements, but this is running about a second slower day. A second slower day. That is unbelievable. So yeah, there we are. That's the movement. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal, is all 316L stainless steel. So you'll see a mixture of brushing and polishing. You've obviously got a coating for the gold, but polished at the top of the lugs and case is all polished. You got a mixture of brushing and polishing through the bracelet, polished with the gold. You got brushed at the sides and polished at the flanks. Fully milled clasp, mixture of brushing and polishing, mainly brushed, but you have got a faceted edge. Fully brushed on the bottom of the case and the case back. Bottom of the bracelet is all brushed. So yeah, real mixture of brushing and polishing. So the case back, solid end links, bracelet, clasp, all 316L stainless steel, and as I say, a nice mixture of brushing and polishing throughout. The case thickness of the watch is 11.4 millimeters. That does become 12.4, including the Cyclops. The case diameter, I measured from the 8 to the 2, it was coming at 36.2 millimeters. When you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it was coming at 38.8 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 16 and back up to 18.5 at the clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip of the watch was coming at 43.3 millimeters. So pretty good proportions there, guys. I think this is the sort of size of this sort of watch that everyone's been waiting for. So yeah, well done to Baltany for providing it. You got a fluted bezel, very much in keeping with the watch that is homaging. Screw down crown, polishing at the side of the crown. Nice B, which you can also see up at the 12. Screw down case back. As I said, it's got 4 mils of taper, screw pins to size it out. Fully milled clasp, Baltany printed on there. Perhaps they could have just gone with the logo, which is that nicely sort of written B, which I don't mind at all. 4 levels of micro adjustment. You can see I'm using 1 for it to fit my wrist. I did take out 6 links, but it didn't really work out. You can see just a bit of marking there from opening and closing it. So yeah, that's the clasp. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal, which is nice to see, and you'll see the clarity on this crystal is phenomenal. Their crystals are unbelievable, Baltany. Sapphire crystal also on the Cyclops. The water resistance, the site has been 100 meters. You'll see that down at the 6. So that'll give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance. And with those 5 links removed, the watch weighs 115.9 grams. So not a lot of heft really, but it is quite a dynamic watch. I wouldn't call it small, I'd call it dynamic. And where it's sort of a vintage aesthetic, hardly surprising. And you'll see the rehaut has Baltany written on it. Nice little touch, isn't it? I do like those little touches. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So just to elaborate, so yeah, you have the rehaut has got Baltany written on it, with the also with the logo. Nice to see. I wasn't expecting that, which was a really nice touch. Inside that, you got a minute track on a sort of gold sunburst dial. Like I said, a couple of other color variations to choose from. Minute track, as I say, around the outer edge. Sunburst inside that. You got applied elements everywhere except for the 3 o'clock position where you got the dates. The date board is nice. They haven't gone too elaborate. The date is also well centered in the Cyclops, which is good. At the 12, you have got the B for the logo for Baltany. I'm presuming that's what they're going to use the logo. Now, nicely done. Looks cool. The buttons are nice. You got the hands, which have got good proportions in terms of where they reach out to. Kind of go to exactly where you'd want your hands to go to. High polished hands, high polished indices with those buttons. The gold is really nice. Possibly could have done with a little bit of another color as a counterbalance against all the gold, but you have got the silver of the construction of the watch, so maybe that's enough of a contrast. But yeah, it looks really stunning. You got below the logo at the 12, you've got Baltany printed onto the dial. You've also got automatic 333 equals 100 M, which is 100 meters, just above the baton at the 6. I think it looks really cool. I like the faceted hands they've used. I like the sunburst style. Like I say, no points for originality generally in terms of it's a homage watch, but I think they've executed it very well. You're now wondering, what's the lume like? So I'll bring the lume up now. So the lume on this watch, I was hoping, although it's sparsely sort of applied in terms, there's only little areas on the hands and in the part of the buttons on the indices where they've got little dots. I was hoping the small amount of lume that the area they've covered was good, but that wasn't really the case, to be honest. It was really struggling to focus. So the lume was a little bit regrettable. I would have rather they just didn't add any lume at all. It's a dress watch, isn't it? And you don't really need lume on that. I would have just gone without the lume if you're not going to add a reasonable amount. So yeah, that was my takeaway generally with the lume. Like I said, Seiko NH35 inside. You pull the crown out, it will hack. Put it back in, starts back up again. Pretty straightforward. And if you turn the crown towards you when it's in the first position, you can change the date, like you say, nicely centered in there. And like I say, if you turn the crown away from you when it's in the sort of neutral position, once it's unscrewed from the case, you can just turn it, and I'm just going to screw it back up now, but you can turn it away from you to put some juice in it, as I did at the start. of the review. But let me just pop it on the wrist, give you a quick look at what it looks like on my wrist in studio conditions. One moment, guys. Okay, so guys, this is what it looks like on my wrist in studio conditions. You'll see how it plays with the light, the sunburst style, the bezel, the two-tone. It looks fabulous, doesn't it? Really, really cool watch. The crystals they produce over at Baltany are fantastic as well. And I think it just looks triumphant, to be honest. What do you all think? Okay, so guys and girls, that now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know, always start with pants. I like to go on a higher with puckers. What I think is pants about the watch is not a huge amount, but you'll see on the fluted bezel, and you'll see just below, sort of the top part of the lugs where the case meets it, all the dust. It is a nightmare. I've cleaned this watch twice, used a cloth to wipe it several times. You just can't get rid of those bits of dust. It's a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, dust magnet and the loom. Yeah, I like the loom to have been better. Guys, either do better loom or just omit it completely, because a watch like this, you don't really need loom anyway. So they're the two things I would say for pans. I go with the dust magnet and loom. What I think is pucker, quite a bit more, to be honest, because I love Baltany. I think they're an exceptional brand. Homage brand at the moment. I'm sure they'll do some original stuff in the future. But what I'd say is the logo at the 12, that is a lovely little touch. I do like how they've done the logo at the 12. The sapphire crystal, and when I say that as well, I'll say the crystal clarity, because the clarity on their crystals is phenomenal. Really, really nice. The rehout, like I said, with that signage on the rehout, you got the logo at the 12, just on the rehout as well, and then Baltany continuously written. But you might recognize that from somewhere. The dial, the sunburst dial looks beautiful. Really, really nice. The bracelet, really, really well finished. Nice bit of taper. Yeah, looks really, really cool. The finishing, their polishing, and their brushing now is becoming undeniable, to be honest. I've said the same about San Martin in the past, and I will extend that to Baltany. And the execution, like there's been a few homages of this watch. I've not seen one of this sort of size, and I think they've nailed it. So they're the things I'm going to say for pucker as I go. Logo at the 12, sapphire crystal, crystal clarity, rehout, dial, bracelet, finishing, and the execution of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I mean, it's a Baltany, it's a homage watch, but what they do very well is their finishing, the polishing, the crystals and the movements. They use the correct movements. Lots and lots to like, and I would have to undoubtedly say I would definitely recommend this watch. I think this could possibly be the one that a lot of people are waiting for in terms of the type of homage, so most certainly. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.